Hi again, councillors, residents and staff. First of all, I could say that I don't doubt the staff's work on this plan, but I look at the amount that we're talking about here, and it just makes everything else that's going on in council trivial in terms of finances in comparison. It's obviously an enormous amount of money. So I'm saying the plan has not been sufficiently scrutinised in my view. It requires some verification. The numbers are massive. They dwarf the council budget by an order of magnitude. Budget, actually, I've got 180 here, but I think Rob might have said it was quite more like 150. Nevertheless, it's at least 10 times what the annual budget is that we're talking about. So it obviously deserves some scrutiny. I get that the number of lots, but I don't quite understand why, but the number of lots has gone down from 21,000 or 21,500 down to, as I think the CFO just said, 18,650. So that accounts for a 13.3% reduction in the value, or roughly, it's a bit more to it because there's some other blocks. I get that. So we've gone from 1.9, so 1,000, just to be clear, $1,960 million down to $1,530 million. So there's in the last 2 months, we've lost $430 million. We're talking about $50 million to build the government service building. This is, 10 times that sort of loss gone. Now, I accept that some of it was gone for good, potentially for good reason. I get that. But the 9,000 drop per block from 94,000 down to about 85,000, not sure. So we've got a reduction of 430 million. And I just think this needs to be clearly justified and explained. I don't see it at the moment. The number of lots is reduced, as I said. So that number of lots knocks off about, of that 430 million, that probably knocks off 260 odd million. It means that we've also dropped 9,000 a lot. So that's counting for the other 170 million. So that's the council's budget for a year gone for some reason by going from 94,000 to 85,000 per block. I think we need to justify this. In the earlier report that I read, it was noted that Schofields has a contribution plan in place at approximately 141,000 per lot. So that means if we look at a few numbers, based on the 18,650 lots, and we just do some sort of, back of a postcard numbers. So let's assume there's 18,650 lots, which was what we've got in this report, and let's say at 85,000 per lot, we're looking at 1.58 billion. Call it 1.6 billion. If the April proposal, which was 94,000 per lot, were then 1.75 billion, staggering $170 million difference, equivalent to, as I said, the budget we've just heard about, gone up. Stroke of a pen. Where did that go? Imagine we got the same as Schofields. If we got 140,000 per lot, we'd be looking at 2.6 billion. A cool extra $1 billion, $1,000 million extra is what we're talking about. This is serious money. So from 1.6 billion to 2.6 billion. Now, except we're probably not going to get the 140 grand per block for Wallandilly. I get that, but I'm just trying to make the point. Whichever way you sort of peel this apple, it's a staggering difference, an incredible difference. In round numbers, if you think about it, every $50 per lot, it's about 20,000 lots, every $50 up or down equates to another $1 million that we either lose or gain, every $50. So you go from 84,000 to 84,050 per lot, we get another $1 million. You go down, you go to 80, whatever, knock $50 off, you've just blown $1 million. Imagine what you can do with $1 million. Well, you're approving stuff every day for $1 million. So, look, by default, I'm not a fan of outside consultants. I'm not. And I've spoken about a number of things where there's been the traffic lights. You remember at Prince Street when I was rabbiting on about that for years, these consultants that, churned all these numbers and cost 100 grand for traffic lights that are only going to cost 200 grand, complete money down the drain, in my view. But in this case, I think spending 100 grand on some outside experts to have a really good look at this and see where we can get our money is well worth it.
Thanks, Sam.
We had, 1 minute, apart from the 8 government submissions, there were actually 5 from developers, only 2 from community. So what I'm asking you to do is get some experts to review the contribution plan, in particular research in comparison with the other large development contribution plans that are going on around the Sydney Basin, and also develop a plain English version of the plan, then commence further community consultation, maybe via some meetings where those who develop the plan can provide feedback, because there are some smart people in our community who I'm sure can engage in this sort of process, because it's massive money. Thanks for listening. So I'd say press the pause. Thank you.